Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to our second week of our Excellent English 410 class. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend and are staying warm on this soggy, rainy Monday. Like 12 cups of tea in today, so it's a nice way to start the Monday. This week we are working on APA formatting. So last week was kind of giving us time to settle into the class, orient ourselves to the structure, have time to poke around on Canvas and make sure you understand where everything's located, and get to know you a little bit through the focused student profile. I also gave you some time to purchase your APA format style manual, as you'll be needing that this week, because this week we are working on documenting sources in APA format. APA style is kind of the accepted standard in a lot of different scenarios. Mostly sciences-based scenarios, but becoming a much broader spectrum as well. There are three major styles of writing that are taught traditionally in academia, the first of which is APA, which you're learning here. This is used by health sciences, engineering, math, a really wide variety of different focuses. MLA format is primarily used in the humanities. You probably learned that in your English 101 and English 102 classes. And then the other style is the more obscure Chicago style, which is mostly just used by history classes and is dumb. It's not dumb, but like it is the most complicated of all the styles, and you would have to be a historian to have the time to do anything in that style because it's ridiculous and the amount of footnotes you have to write is just excessive. So we don't have to learn that here. Hooray, that's a very nice thing. And you've already put in your time with MLA format in English 101 and English 102. So if you've taken English 235, or if this is your first experience with APA format, it is a much simpler style, I would argue, because you don't have to put in page numbers, you don't have to put paragraph numbers and in-text citations, you just put the author's name and the year of publication. So in-text citations are really easy, and the formatting of the document, once you get it down, once you look at the examples, piece of cake. So lots of help to get you started in APA style this week. We want to lay that foundation really strong because all of our subsequent writing in the class will be submitted in APA style. There will be points associated with that style, so I want to make sure you have all the tools you need to be successful here before you start having it in a more high-stakes environment. The way this class is structured, as we mentioned last week in our video, kind of orienting you to the class, every assignment in this class builds. Imagine that we're trying to build a tower in this class, right? So right now we are starting to lay that foundation for the tower. We're going to build a new level each week. So by the time that we get to finals week, you will have slowly and meticulously constructed an incredible document that's going to be like super long and really detailed and have a ton of sources and will like knock the socks off of anyone who reads it because it's wildly impressive that you created it. That's going to happen by the end of the class. And if you take a look at that end of the class assignment, it looks incredibly daunting. But don't be discouraged. I promise you, we are going to build it step by step over the next like 10 weeks. So what looks daunting in one section really will come together very fluidly as we spend each week focusing on a different component. So this week we're focusing on the APA format component, making sure all our formatting, all of the logic that builds a document is strong before we get into building the essential bits of the document itself. So if we take a look at the assignment, and once again, I would highly recommend using this calendar to tell you how to spend your time during the week. It makes suggestions, right? The only hard and fast things are the actual due dates. But this calendar makes suggestions on how you might want to spend your time so that you can stay on top of things so you don't get overwhelmed on the weekend as you're trying to create this document for the big assignments. This calendar is also very nice because it lets you link right into the assignments from here. So you can go ahead and click on the title of the assignment and it will take you right there to the assignments page. The documenting sources in APA style, this will walk you through the whole process. Very handy. And it shows you your book that you should be using, all that good stuff. So you can see that there's kind of a format you would like to follow here, or you would like to follow. I would like you to follow it. So please do, because it will make life easier for you. I just kind of copy and paste this thing into a Word document, and it should make for an easy assignment to complete. So you go up here, your original excerpt is from Jody Hoffer-Gattel. Here's the student work. You're going to be identifying what the error is in the student work, and then you're going to be fixing it. So for those of you who are watching this video, bonus, way to be awesome. Let's do this first one together. So I like to do a bold or a different color or something to make it very obvious that this is my work that I'm putting into this document. Also, it's harder to type and talk at the same time. So I'd say my answer. So here is our excerpt here. According to Jody Hoffer-Gattel, published in 2004, that's the APA citation, managing performance through a divide and conquer strategy will set at odds the very people who must coordinate with each other. There's the student work. If I go back and reference the original work here, I'm going to notice that the exact words from the original work are used in this student work. And when the exact words are used, we're supposed to put that in quotation marks, right? So the reader knows that these are not my words. These words are coming from the source. And so in order to fix this, we would still include our stem or our signal phrase according to Jody Hoffer-Gattel. And we would still include that APA citation, 2004. And here's where the change would take place. We would go ahead and put those quotation marks in here and say managing performance through a divide and conquer strategy, ... each other. I'm not going to type the whole thing. So we've got our quote here. You should type the whole thing though, or just copy and paste it. And then you're going to close off your quotation mark. When you use a direct quotation, you do need to include the page number as well. So we're going to have the page, and it's page 16, and then the punctuation always goes outside of the parentheses for the citation. So this is how my revised answer would look. According to Jody Hoffer-Gattel, 2004, quotation mark around the quoted material, end that quotation, put the page number, which we've been given up here in the original, close off that quotation citation with our parentheses, and then put our punctuation there. And where it says any errors, we want to make sure that we're explaining what the error is. The error is that the student used a direct quotation from the source but failed to put the quotation in quotation marks and did not include page number in the citation. Perfect. You've done number one. Congratulations. You guys rock. Excellent work. So you're going to be doing this for each of these options here. So original excerpt here, student work here. I want you to go ahead and fix the student work and then explain the error to me, just like we did up here in this portion. Makes sense? Clear as mud? Awesome. That's what I like to hear. So that's how our assignment will go for documenting sources in APA style. Sorry, whenever I record videos, I have two Australian shepherds that think like maybe I'm talking to a ghost. I don't know. They get really weirded out and then they just come over here. And if you've ever interacted with Australian shepherds, they're dogs that like to talk a lot. And so they'll come over here. Jim, you want to say hi? Come on. You can just see her fuzzy butt. Yes, they're very sweet dogs. They like to keep me company. So if you hear weird noises in the background of our videos, it's probably them talking because they think I'm talking to ghosts when I talk to the computer like this. So a side note there. So that's how you're going to be doing this, recognizing plagiarism, and then working with these original excerpts here. I look forward to seeing how that comes together for you. Most of the answers for this kind of stuff will be found in your APA style guide. So make sure you're going there. If the APA style guide is not answering the questions for you, you can also go to the Al Purdue APA style guide, and this one can be helpful as well. It's an online resource for APA style put forward by Purdue University. It's a very reliable source, and so it'll give you an overview. It gives you a formatting and style guide, so you can just click on those hyperlinks and it'll take you where you need to go to get the questions answered that you might have. It does have ads, which is really annoying, but you just close those out and things come together for you. It's got a nice hyperlink list over here, so you can take a look at how things should be cited and formatted as well. Great resource for you in addition to your APA style book. Awesome. So that's primarily what we're working on this week. After we built that foundation in APA style, which of course is very important, next week we're going to be working on crisis solutions memorandums and using some discussion boards to build those ideas before we jump into the big project, which is the memorandum and letter itself. But we'll talk about all that next week in our Monday videos. Every Monday I'll be posting an overview like this, so please check the announcements. It should be posted sometime between 9 and 11 in the morning. And I do try and keep these nice and short. They will never be more than 15 minutes long. So I do think that they really are worth your time to orient yourself to the week, to figure out where your assignments are, and to make sure that you've got all the information you need to be successful. If you have questions, please reach out. I'm here to help. During the work week, Monday through Friday, I try and get emails answered a couple times a day. So the typical timeline turnaround on those is about 12 to 24 hours, depending on what time you email me and what time I'm checking. If we miss each other by a few minutes, it might be closer to that 12 hours. But over the weekend, just like in most professions, I try not to check my email obsessively because I want to have a work-life balance and I want to be available to my 2 small children who I love very much. And who are also insane and take all my time and energy, as you can tell from the alphabet wall behind me. Over the weekend, it's a much longer time period. Response for emails, typically closer to 24 to 48 hours. So if you do have questions, make sure that you're looking at those assignments ahead of time. You're asking those questions during the work week so you can get a more timely response on those assignments. You can always reach out to your classmates as well. Great resource. You can also make appointments with the CBC Online Writing Lab or the CBC In-Person Writing Lab. Both great options. Get some good feedback on your written work. And if you do take advantage of those opportunities, please send me the feedback they give you in an email along with confirmation for your session, and I will give you extra credit points. So bonus there. That's exciting. That's kind of all we need to know to be successful this week. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm here to help. Stay warm and dry on this rainy day, and I look forward to seeing what cool creations you come up with in APA style.